Kingdom citizens, we are back in the place today. Kingdom Ox on all social media platforms. Man, I have somebody in here today, man. I have an intro for him. So I have to say my intro. Here we go. A pioneering voice in Christian hip hop from Cincinnati, Ohio, where he hits the ground running. He stands out genre since the early 2000s. His energetic delivery, authentic storytelling, and unwavering faith makes him fresh. He is the CEO of One Route Entertainment and the founder of Good Company Apparel. He
Yes,
goes
sir.
all out to make sure the customers of his music and clothes are good because he
Hey,
is so professional. He wants you to see his life inside out and everything he does. Kingdom citizens, give it up for my boy, D-MAUB. What's up, bro? How you doing?
hey. Amazing intro, bro. Amazing intro. Amazing. I see how you tied all the songs in. You feel what I'm saying? No, that was super dope, bro. Super
I
dope.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. Man,
Absolutely.
thank you so much time to coming on the platform, man. Of course, we met years ago at Flavor Fest. I think the first time we met and as track stars met you at Flavor Fest a couple years ago. And then I know you and Ryan's been cool and everything. So
Yeah.
man, thank you so much, man, for even being here, man. So let's just get started to it, man. Let's talk to about Cincinnati. Growing up in Cincinnati, what was that like for you, bro?
Man, Cincinnati is, man, listen, this is my city, bro. I love Cincinnati. Man, never thought about moving out of Cincinnati. This is where my support is. This is where my family is. I grew up a typical teen, man. You know what I'm saying? I actually, so my mom and my father separated when I was very young, when I was like maybe 2 years old. And
Yeah.
my dad flew to California. He moved to California. And
Wow.
yeah, so so the next time I seen my dad, I was like 7. I think me and my sisters, my first time I got on a plane, me, my sister, and my grandmother flew to California to see dad. And flew back home. And then the next time I seen him, bro, I was like a teenager. So I kind of grew up without my dad, but I had a dope stepfather, man. My mom remarried. Shout out to Thomas, man. Rest in peace. He was always there, man, but he wasn't my father though. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he was in the house, anything I needed from him, bro. He was always there. I used to wear his cologne, go in his closet, get his cologne. He's like, go get it. You know, he
Yeah.
was always he was a really dope guy, but it's just different when when it's not your father for real. So I
Yeah.
never got those talks. This is how you manage money. This is how this is how you raise a family. This is how you budget. This is what hard work look like. I never got those talks. So like the streets really raised me. You know what I mean?
Wow.
And my mom was, she was passive. She kind of let me, I was the baby of the family. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I'm
Gotcha.
the last one. So by
Gotcha.
that time, she like, I'm used to kids now. You go ahead,
Yeah.
she was on me about certain things, but I still kind of was raised in the hood. You know what I mean? Raised by the streets.
Gotcha.
So
Gotcha.
yeah, man. Never got into selling like dope or anything like that. Sold a little weed here and there. Um,
Gotcha.
I was like, you know what? That life really ain't for me either. I always rap too. I started rapping when I was like 10 years old. My mom
Gotcha.
had this event. It was called pantomiming, which is lip syncing,
Gotcha.
right? So
Gotcha.
she had this pantomiming event, and I never forget. We had to so she got the family together. She was like, look, learn somebody's song who you like, and you're gonna dress up as that person and perform on a
Oh,
stage
wow.
in front of so I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, okay, so I'm young, I'm like 10, 11 years old, and I just remember doing I'm Bad by LL Cool J, and I had 2 dancers with me. We had Kangos, we had the gold chains, bro. I had a shirt made like with LL Cool J on it. It was so freaking live, bro. And after I did that and I seen the crowd reaction from me being on stage, it was up.
Wow. You know what's so funny? I didn't have that whole experience, but I had that experience with LL Cool J. I'm Bad. That was like the first record I bought, and I
Yeah,
used to
yeah, yeah.
perform that in front of my mom and my sister and stuff like that.
Uh,
So That's so relatable, bro. That's so relatable. I mean, I get it, though. So was that something where you were like, man, I want to do this for real? Like this is a calling for me. Like I feel like I could do this even at that age.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I was, I fell in love with music at that point, man. I was just like, yo, and I think it was the immediate gratification too. You know what I'm saying? From the audience, people coming up to you like, yo, like, boy, you better kill that. Like you know what I'm saying? Just kind of hyping me and, my family coming over, hugging me like, man, you did good. You really learned that song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it was that as well, man. Just that encouragement that you get, the love that you get. You like, yo, and I really did good. You know what I mean? I didn't mess up the words. Like the performance was on point. Over my homies, I never forget Randy and Sean, man. They was my backup dancers, and we killed that joint, man. And I don't think nobody else did rap. So all the adults was like singing songs, from different artists, because they were older. They were older than me, right? So I was the youngest, man, and I did that joint, bro, and it was like it lit a fire under me. And then my dad was doing music before I was born, right? So I was kind of born into it, man. My father has always done music. Him and my mom has passed away now, but no, it's all good. I was born in it, bro. Like I had no choice, for real. It seemed like I had no choice. Like he played drums when he was younger for James Brown. He went around the city, out of town, playing drums, singing. And then later he started doing gospel music as well.
Wow.
So I didn't always do gospel music. I didn't get saved until my mom passed away. That was in 97. So I was 19 years old when my mom died. And I never went to church until she passed away. And so but my mom was a poet. She was, when I tell you, bro, my mom was super ahead of her time. Like imagine in 80s, 86, 87, cutting up your jeans. You know what I mean? Like selling jeans cut up. She would like really had slits in her, like literally cutting her jeans and wearing jeans like that, man. Like having her ear pierced up here back then. Like she was super ahead of her time, man. Super. That's where I get my creativity from with my delivery. It's because of my mom. Now the musical gift comes from, dad, but yeah, my mom, bro, she was creative, bro. Like one of the most creative people I knew, So yeah, creativity comes from her, man.
Got you. I kind of asked this to Drama too. I would like to hear your perspective on it. Is Cincinnati a place where like you is it a Christian kind of city, or is it like a city of like just cultivating the gifts? Like what type of city is Cincinnati? Because I want to hear your perspective on that. Like what type of city is Cincinnati? Like is it a church kind of town? Is that the main religion in Cincinnati as well? You know what I mean?
Nah, bro. Cincinnati is a mixture, bro.
Got you. Okay.
Cincinnati is a mixture of everything, for real. Because we in the Midwest too. So we get north, south, east. Like we get everything right here. We're in the middle of it, for real, right?
Got you. Okay.
It's Christians, it's Muslims, it's like you got a whole lot of stuff here. It's a gumbo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But it's a music city too, bro. We have something every year here called the Cincinnati Music Fest. It was called the Jazz Festival years ago, but it's called the Cincinnati Music Fest. And so it's the biggest music fest, and like people from Chicago, all different type of cities come in for this music fest. We have Mary J. Blige, LL Cool J, you name it, right? These people are coming for Cincinnati music, and it's in July. It's exactly coming up. So yeah, this is the biggest music fest that Cincinnati has. So it's a music city.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely a music city. And Christian hip hop now is really accepted.
Wow.
When I first started, bro, we couldn't get in church to do Christian hip hop. I started then. You know what I'm saying? I started back then doing Christian hip hop in 99. So
Wow.
I got saved in 98. My homeboy, me and my homeboy Rob, he went by Lazarus at the time. He he um he got saved around the same time I did, right? Maybe a little bit
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
And he started, I don't know where he heard Christian hip hop at, because I've never heard it in my whole life at that time. So he got saved, right? And
Yeah.
he like, man, I'm about to start rapping for God. And I'm like,
Mm.
okay, like I'm oblivious, right? I'm like, okay, cool. I know we
Yeah.
both got saved. We still
Yeah.
use our gifts, but he didn't rap for real. Like he started rapping right before he got saved, but I was rapping years before him.
Got
So
you. Got you.
I showed him how to like count bars, and you know what I'm saying? Like, no, this is a
Yeah.
6. You want to write, and I was producing also. And
Wow.
so yeah, I was producing all my music back in the day. Like I got an album up on Spotify right now or Apple Music, but you have to type in my name D dot dash M dot A dot U dot B dot. You got to put the dots behind it
Yeah.
because my manager at the time uploaded my name like that. I think it's just D dot M dot A dot U dot B dot. So if you type
Yeah.
that, you will see my first album timeline. You can go listen to
Yeah.
my very first album, and I got another album called The Release up on there. That's super old, like I mean decades old, right? But
Yeah.
I produced all of that music, so I was producing as well as writing in the world.
Wow.
When I got saved, my homeboy started doing Christian hip hop, but I didn't have no gospel raps, and I didn't have enough knowledge about God to start writing about him when I got saved. But he was kind of on that trail, so I was like,
Got
"Yo,
you.
I'll make the beats for you. I'll produce." And so we
Mm.
started a label here in the city called FIC Music. FIC stood for Forever in Christ. so
Mm.
so
Wow.
that's our start, bro. And when we started, churches was calling it the devil's music. They was not letting us in. And he had a relationship with LG Wise, and I never forget. Um, we working on this album, and we did a song together called "Laugh at the Devil," and
Mm.
and that's one of the first times I did my double style. Now, mind you,
Oh, wow.
this is 99, 2000. I was doing a double style when I was in the world, bro.
Oh,
17 years old. I
wow.
came up with that everybody, body, CC, when we come, like saying literally everything twice. I did
Yeah.
that, bro. I was high in the studio one day with my homie, like real
Gee.
talk, and came up with
Yeah.
that style so I can stand out. So, but that's that,
Yeah.
again, that creativity. Man, I never wanted to be like the best on a song or to outdo somebody on a song. That's never my heart, because outdoing somebody or being the best is subjective. Everybody got
Yeah.
their own opinion. I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure I wasn't forgotten when that
Mm.
was my whole goal. What can I do to stand out just so I won't be forgotten? Not that I'm considered I was the best on the song. I don't care about
Yeah.
that. That's subjective. You can never win that, right? Somebody gonna
Wow.
feel you the best. Somebody gonna feel like so and so the best. You can't win that. But what you can
Yeah.
do is make sure you stand out. You know what I'm
It's
saying?
almost, yeah, it's almost like, and this is my hip hop roots talking about, it's almost like Sticky Fingers and Onyx and Busta Rhymes on Scenario. It's like they may not have, I mean, people say they have the best verses, but they always stood out like sore thumbs. Like Busta
Yeah,
Rhymes stood out on Scenario to the point where you like waiting for his verse to come, or Sticky when he was doing Onyx, and you would wait for his verse because he was always the anchor and he would just kill it. So I get what you're saying. That's a good model. I've never really heard nobody say that, like trying to be remembered on a record, like, yo, such and such had a good verse, but my man, I remember what he did. And that
yeah,
lasts longer with people than he just had the good verse. You know what I mean? Sometimes at
absolutely.
times. Yeah.
Absolutely. And when I started rapping, it was nobody in my hood rapping. Everybody was, you know what I'm saying, on the block. Like I
Yeah.
hung around, I was in that environment.
Yeah.
But nobody was rapping. So that's why I never had to, like, I can't freestyle really well. That's a downside for me. Like
Got you.
I won't do it. It'll sound corny. I'm a writer, right? I got the
Yeah.
writing from my mom. My mom wrote a whole poetry book. So I got the writing from her. So since I never grew up in an area where I had to be ready to freestyle, had to be ready to battle, nobody in my hood rap. They was looking at me like, look at this boy doing rapping, right? I was the one coming up to all my homies like, listen to this, listen to this, listen to this. Like, I just dropped something new. Listen to this. They wasn't rapping. So I never had to be on guard or be ready, or we never formed circles and everybody was, that wasn't my hood. My hood wasn't no rapping, you know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
But so I was able to develop my writing, you know what I mean? And so I have to sit and think about what I'm going to say, because I don't want to waste any words. I don't, you know, I'm very calculated. And with my delivery, how I deliver the message, I can't freestyle that, bro. Like, I can't. I can't speak for anybody else, but I can't. I'm intentional on every bar. You know what I mean? So I just, that's one thing I wish I could do really well, is freestyle. Now I can freestyle, but it'll sound crazy. You'll be like, bro, you just rhyming at this point. Like, yeah, I'm just rhyming.
Do you feel like that? Do you feel like that's the thing from the Midwest though? Like the whole, I'm talking about freestyle, but like the chopping, the double time, like that's y'all specialty, to the point where it's like you had to incorporate that in your style?
No, I mean, I think the Midwest is more of an upbeat type of world, right? You got Nelly, you know, he's Midwest, that's St. Louis, you know, Twista, of course, right? He double times. But again, when I started rapping, bro, I didn't know about these people. I didn't get influenced by people that people say I sound like. I didn't know. I started rapping, I was 12. We didn't have social media. I didn't know them. I didn't know about their music. So it's funny when he would be like, man, you sound like Ludacris. It's like, me and Ludacris sound alike. I don't sound like him. He just blew up and got the publicity before me, but I'm rapping this way. You know what I mean? I've been had this. I'm the same D-MAUB from when I first started rapping at 13, 14 years old. You know, like when I really developed my style. My style. You know what I mean? If anybody influenced me, it was Ice Cube. I was a West Coast guy. I wasn't even I didn't even listen to Midwest music. I never listened to Twister, never bought an album, never bought a Ludacris album a day in my life. Like, you know, that was later in my Christian hip hop, you know, journey that I found out about Ludacris. You know, so even Busta Rhymes, like I didn't listen to East Coast music. It was, for me, it was West Coast. I was an Ice Cube fan, bro. That was my guy who you know what I'm saying, who I listen to. But again, my style isn't like his. You see what I'm saying? Even though I listen to him and he influenced me in certain ways, he didn't help me with my delivery or my style. I've been this way. You know, I was always trying to be creative. And so, yeah.
Does that bother you though? The whole Ludacris comparison? Is that something?
Heck no, he's one of the GOATs. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Like the reason why I think we get compared, our voices don't sound the same. But I think what people are meaning to say is what D-MAUB does in his delivery is something we could hear Ludacris doing, and vice versa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Tone, I would say tone a little bit too. The tone, like on the way you say certain things, I can hear. You can hear that too. You know what I'm saying? So both were just saying,
for sure. I get him. I get Busta Rhymes. People compare me to Busta Rhymes. I've seen it like on posts, like, you got that Busta type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's cool to be compared to great. I'm just thankful there's great artists that I'm getting compared to. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? So no, it doesn't bother me at all, man. I mean, because somebody sounds like somebody in this world.
Got you. Yeah.
Somebody gonna sound like, it's very rare, bro, that you would get somebody who sounds like, you know, even Onyx, we could compare that to DMX.
Yeah.
Compare. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So even though they came out before DMX, but
absolutely. The comparison is what I'm saying. Like you can hear them kind of doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The animation, and you know, so Yeah, it's so it don't
So
bother me at all.
so thinking about your style, have you always been like funny? Have animation, like has that always been your thing, or did you pick that up later?
Always, bro.
Wow.
I mean, anybody you ask who know me from rapping when I first started rapping, I've been my inflections, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And for me, it's those are the best type of artists in my opinion for me, right?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
or who I gravitate to or who I like more is artists who um who are able to do that again. Ice Cube.
Yeah. Yeah.
His
Yeah.
now his rap style is pretty basic, right? He's not doing a bunch of antics like I do, but
Yeah.
even his inflections, right? Lord,
Yeah.
please murder my enemy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
he can get animated a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but those are the type of artists that I can listen to a whole album through because it's not mundane. It's not like the same
Mm,
tone. It's not like
yeah.
they're changing. They're bringing some. They're making the verse exciting. You know, the inflections and the
Yeah.
style. They like all over the place. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so, not that I got my delivery from anybody else like that, because again, when I
Yeah.
started rapping, I definitely wasn't listening to Christian hip hop because I didn't even know it existed. Right?
Wow.
And it wasn't too
Yeah.
many secular artists who were like that I listened to. Of course, you got your Busta Rhymes, you got they were doing it, but I didn't
Yeah.
listen to them. I didn't buy their music.
Got
So
you.
yeah,
What was
man.
what
I
was
don't
your
know.
come to Jesus moment? I know you said you got saved, but what was that moment for you? Like even as a rapper and going into like this industry? Because I was telling somebody recently, I was like, I didn't know this was an industry. Christian hip hop was an industry. Like I knew of certain Christian rappers. I knew one of rappers from the 90s, A1 Swift, T-Bone, Lil Rascal. But it's
Mm.
not when I got to Atlanta that I knew it was an industry. Did like tell your story of how you got from like regular rapper, getting saved, like coming into this industry. When did you like know all about this?
So in 99 when my mom passed away, so I never went to church. I didn't grow up in a church at all.
Got you.
Before my mom passed away, my aunt who was saved started taking my mom to church. So
Mm,
disclaimer: my siblings, my older brother and sister knew my mom was sick with cancer,
mm,
but they didn't want to let me know that. Right?
wow.
They didn't want me to crash out. So
Yeah.
I guess right. So they kept that from me, and all I knew is that my mom was sick, not that she was
Got
like dying. But my
Wow.
aunt who was saved knew that.
Wow.
Well, all of a sudden, this aunt that I really never met started coming around. And she's like, "Hey, this is your Aunt Pam." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, Aunt Pam?" You know what I'm saying? And so, and so,
Yeah.
and so my aunt started taking my mom to church. So I started going to church with my mom. I was a mama's boy. You
Mm.
know what I
Oh
mean? I'm
wow.
the
Okay.
youngest, right? So, and I'm
Yeah.
still young at this time. I'm 17 around this time. We started going to
Yeah.
church, 17, almost 18.
Got you.
I start going to church. I meet my cousin Ken, and his whole Matt, and I meet that whole side, and
Got you.
they're all in church heavy.
Got you.
And
Okay.
so I start going to church, man. And fast forward, when my mom passed away, so my mom did give her life to God because of
Mm.
my aunt. Shout
Yeah.
out, shout out to my freaking aunt, bro. Like
Yeah.
just thinking about that, you know. So yeah, I started going to church, and I remember after my mom passing, I remember the pastor saying something, like, man, those who have accepted Christ will be able to see their loved ones again. And
Mm.
I need to buckle down and really submit to God, because when we was going to church with my mom, I still had one foot in, one foot. I was just going because my mom was going.
Yeah.
I didn't know the severity of her illness, still nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, So when she passed away, I remembered that, and then I started going to church. I started being serious about God because I wanted to see. So I really essentially gave my life to God because I wanted to see my mom again. It wasn't about Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It definitely wasn't about building this relationship with Jesus.
Yeah.
I said, I have to serve him, or I have to give my life to him to see my mom again, because I want to see my mom again.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what started it. But a couple years after me doing that and going to church, then it became less about my mom. And my relationship with him really became tight. And so that's where the transition came in, from me doing, worldly music to now rapping about God.
Wow, man, that's an amazing story, bro. That's an amazing story, bro. That's a
Yeah.
very amazing. It's interesting to hear people be honest about that, because it's like you don't really hear people be honest, like, yo, I got saved because I want to see my mom again, or I got saved because I just didn't want to do the streets no more. It's like I really wasn't thinking about Jesus. And then now it's like, as I got closer and closer and got to learn more about God and learn more about him and seeing what he wants to do in my life, that's how I got close. That's a very interesting story, bro. I've never really heard nobody say, like, I got saved because I just wanted to see my mom again. You know what I mean? But the grace of God seen your heart and was like, bet, I'll take that, and I'll bring you in to get more, so you can see who I am, so you can be like, oh, I get to see my mom, but I get to be with Jesus too.
It's really about him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he allowed me, because, bro, at the end of the day, man, God, he knew, bro. He knows I'm ignorant to him. He's not gonna be accountable. Bro, I had a relationship with my mom. I didn't have a relationship with him. You can't fault me for somebody I had a relationship with over somebody I never knew.
Yeah.
What do you expect? I mean, you see what I'm saying? But God is so dope that he doesn't hold me accountable to that. Like, oh, you picking your mom over me, which I did. I picked my mom over him. I don't know you.
Yeah.
I never knew you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't go to church. I didn't learn about you at all, right?
Yeah.
Until my mom got sick.
Yeah.
And so he didn't hold me to that, man. He was just like, yo, he at the end of the day, he wants to see his mom again, and she's gonna be with me, right?
Yeah.
And he has no idea, once he start finding out who I am and what I've done for him.
Yeah.
He's gonna surrender completely. And I did that, bro. Like, since I was 19, 20 years old, bro, I never looked back. I never backslid. I never had to come back to God. Like, since 20 years old, bro, I've been straight in, like, real. Ask anybody who know me, bro. I've been this way since 20 years old.
Wow, that's amazing, bro. That's amazing. Hey, man, what's so funny? I remember years ago, I'm at the Holy Hip Hop Awards, and a gentleman get on stage. He's rapping. He has this huge cross, wooden cross.
I know that guy.
Wooden cross. And I'm like, who is this guy with this big, like, everybody there, at that time, everybody's still trying to floss, so people got some jewelry on. But this guy walks on stage with this huge wooden cross. And I'm like, why does he have this huge, like, and I mean, like it's almost like the cross was on his chest. Like, it was almost like his shield almost, you know what I mean?
Joint was huge.
And that was you. And I was just like, why does he have it? But then he gets on stage and he kills the stage and he goes crazy. How was that? Okay, so now going back to one of my questions inside what I asked you, was that the time that you knew about the industry of Christian hip hop once you became in the Holy Hip Hop Awards?
Oh, for sure. Okay. It was, because by that time I had met, like, LG Wise over at Grape Tree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My dude Rob, who I started the record label with, FIC.
Yeah.
He had a relationship with LG Wise somehow. I don't even know.
Got you.
I don't even know how that happened, bro.
Got you.
They were on a major label. We was still in the hood. Like, we didn't.
Yeah.
We just get started. I don't know how he connected with him. I gotta ask him to this day. Like, bro, how did you meet him? I'm curious now. But I never forget. We went to Columbus, I think it was, and LG Wise allowed us to open up for him. Now, mind you, bro, we're just this is probably my first Christian hip hop rap is on a feature with my bro with called Laugh at the Devil. So I ain't got songs under my belt. I I don't have that, right? I'm just like, I know I'm smart enough to know that my lyrics, my content needs to be positive, and that it needs to, I know how to glorify somebody. I know how to represent somebody else.
Got
I
you.
do know
Got
that
you.
much because
Got you.
I was representing me
Yeah.
before. So I know how to big up somebody else. And so all I knew to do was write positive things about God. You know what I mean? And the things that you read about that he said he's done, rap about those things. And
Yeah.
so
Wow. Wow.
so he invited us up there, bro. We did Laugh at the Devil, killed it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, I mean, it was so much fun. You know what I mean? And that's when I knew, like, oh, Christian hip hop is a real thing. This is crazy. And
Yeah.
so yeah, by the time the Holy Hip Hop Awards came, I was in it. I was writing the album. Like it was up. It was up. I had an album out by that time, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I remember. I think I remember when you got the honoree award. It like really, it really moved you because I remember you crying a little bit. Like I think you were like very emotional about that, and you had your family with you and everything. And I was like, and to me that showed me that you like really embraced this community, because it's like a lot of people got their awards, thank people, and kept it moving. You was like, man, thank you. Like you was very grateful about winning, being an honoree at the Holy Hip Hop Awards. The year I went and saw you do that. Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy. Remember that? Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh, I cry in a heartbeat, bro. When I start thinking about what people don't owe me, but what they give me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, man, people don't owe you stuff, bro. But love. You know, they don't owe you all the awards. They don't, like, this stuff. You know, you do the best you can, man. And before my mom passed, man, she used to always tell me, don't take for granted what people do for you, because they don't owe you nothing. You know what I mean? Be appreciative about when people do things for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just always stuck with me, man. And so for people to honor me, because I know music is subjective too. When you couple that with it's subjective, and everybody can really dislike your music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the fact that it was so many people who thought my music, was good enough. I mean, bro, like that's amazing, man. That's amazing, because you know how this game is. People who come out, everybody won't be accepted. Everybody won't be liked by the majority. Whether it's skill level, whether it's your content, for whatever reason, you might never make it on a Rapzilla, a Holy Culture. They never may shout you out. You know what I'm saying? So to shout out by these, the South, you know what I'm saying? .com, like to be shouted out and embraced by these people, these outlets to help promote what you're doing, it said a lot.
Yeah. And then that's how you got on the compilation. That's how you got on the Holy Hip Hop compilation. What was that like? Did that take your career into another level, or was it like step by step?
Yeah. It definitely helped me publicity wise. You know what I mean?
Okay.
People to know who D-MAUB was.
Yeah.
So that was a really cool experience, man, to be picked up by, because they had distribution, they was in store. So to be able to be on something major like that, when you're just getting into it, it was amazing, man. But that's what let me know that I stood out too as an artist, and that gave me the confidence to keep going, because again, I had nobody to compare myself to when I was growing up. Nobody rapped in my, you know what I'm saying, until later, right? When I first started rapping, people weren't rapping, so I had nobody to see how dope I am against. I had no comparison. So especially when I started doing Christian hip hop, I had nobody to compare myself to.
Got you.
You know what I mean? So when people are like, nah, you one of them ones, I'm like, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So when did you meet like Drama? Like when did you meet him? Like, because I mean he waved the flag for Cincinnati too. Like when did you meet him?
I think I met, if I'm not mistaken, man. Let me see. We started maybe like 2003. 2003, 2002, 2000, between 2002 and 2004, I believe is when he started coming around.
Okay.
And if you ask him, FIC was the reason why he got encouraged to start.
Mm.
You know, we was doing it before him. That's
Yeah.
little bro, right? So
Got you.
he came to our shows and was like, yo, I can do this. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. Yeah.
He got encouraged, you know. I'm not saying that he wasn't already thinking about music, but seeing us doing it was like, oh, let's go. I can do this. You know what I mean? I can have
Got
my own.
you.
I can start doing Christian hip hop. So I think I met him around that time because I know I met him before my album came out. My first album came out, which was 2005, which was Timeline.
Yeah.
He was actually on it. So I had to have met him before then. So
Got you.
yeah, probably around 2002, somewhere around there.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, man. Wow. Did you like did y'all ever talk about like what y'all wanted to do with the Christian hip hop scene in Cincinnati? Like, was that a conversation for y'all, or was it just let's just work and build?
At first, it was just it was just work. It was just work. It was just put out music because we didn't really we again when we first started, it was nobody else doing it. So it was no people we can say, hey, y'all, let's get together and form this, you know, this Voltron, this movement. You know what I'm saying? And all come together because it was nobody doing it. Was literally me and my dude Rob. And he actually wrote his Christian is like his Christian hip hop music before me.
Yeah.
So he like so Robert Smith, bro, is he's the pioneer of the Christian hip hop scene in Cincinnati, and I'm right under him because we started it together.
Wow.
So I might have told him like, you know, this is how you count bars and stuff like that because I was rapping before Rob, but he started rapping about God before me.
Okay.
You know, so he got saved. I got saved like around the same time, and he was like, "Man, I'm gonna start rapping about God because he rapped in the world too, though."
Got you.
Me and him rapped together in the world, but he started rapping about God before I did.
Yeah.
And so yeah,
Got
man. Yep. So we just kept pushing, and then we started supporting each other. Right. We started doing shows. We got I think our first show was at his church. His church was the first church that let us do Christian hip hop. And when he seen like what we accomplished through it, like we was praying for people was giving their life to God, you know, all through Christian, it was really over. Like they started allowing us to do it because it wasn't deemed as this evil, you know, music before, you know, like before. And we started doing shows at the Union Terminal, selling it out. I mean, bro, I'm talking about this is 2003, 2004. We're selling out the Union Terminal. That's 200-300 people selling it out. We had a nobody else is doing Christian hip hop in the city. It's like five of us on a label at this point on FIC Music, 5 or 6 of us, right? And then K Drama started doing his own thing, right? And then we would support him. All of us would go, like the support was unbelievable for each other in Cincinnati at that time. Everybody was supporting everybody's show, bro. We was there, rapping or not, we showing up for each other.
Got you. Was when did you turn? I think you said FIC into One Route Entertainment. When did that happen? When did that switch happen? In your
Yep, that was in 2005 when I dropped my first full album because I dropped like 2. I think I dropped 1 or 2 projects under FIC.
Got you. Okay.
And then I transitioned from FIC to One Route Entertainment in 2005, and that's when I dropped my first album, Timeline.
Got you.
So yep. So 2005 is when One Route Entertainment was birthed.
Got you. When did you meet Canton? Like, how did you meet Canton Jones? Because I know y'all did some work together and some other stuff. Like, how did you meet him? And like, how did that relationship go into doing music?
Man, shout out to my brother Canton, man. One of the realest dudes I ever met in this game. One of the realest, bro. One of the most giving, loving. If you know Canton, he's everything I just said, bro, and more. Like,
yeah, he a good dude, man. I interviewed him a couple months ago.
Yeah. That's my brother, man. I think I met him in Tennessee. I think it was an event that was going on. I can't think of the name of the event, but I think we was in Tennessee, and he was. I think I've seen him at Holy Hip Hop Awards. That's when I first seen him, and
Yeah.
I will never forget, bro. Like this dude, he like electrified the audience, and I remember him doing this song, and he was saying, anybody want to praise with me? Oh,
Yeah.
oh, and the whole arena, bro. Like it was like, oh my freaking God, who is this dude with this much control, bro? Because
Yeah.
again, Christian hip hop is new. It's still
Yeah.
new. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To go to the Holy Hip Hop Awards and to see all these other Christian hip hop artists, it's like, yo, we really out here. It's a lot of us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think I seen him there for the first time at Holy Hip Hop Awards, and I couldn't even get to him when he got off stage. Like it was crazy, bro. Like this dude was a megastar, like real talk.
Yeah.
Then I seen him again in Tennessee, and I was like, oh my goodness, bro, I would love to collab with bro, you know. And I went up to him right before he got on stage. He's never heard of me.
Yeah.
And or he might have seen me when I performed there. I don't know. But I know I went up to him and I was like, bruh, I was like, man, you super dope, bruh. Love your energy. Love what you're doing. I would love to work with you. This dude gave me his number, bruh. And it was all, yep, he really didn't know who I was. I guess it was something about me. I don't know what it was, but somebody of that status, that was, you know, I would think it was rare for you to give out your number. You know what I'm saying? To a random who you really don't know, you know. But he did, man. And that's when I really started messing with Canton. And we got several songs together, bro. Several.
Wow. Yeah. That's y'all got some good chemistry, man. Stuff on your project, his project, and some other stuff I heard. I was like, man, they got good chemistry together, man.
Absolutely.
Wow, bro. What is in that time frame in the 2000s, you're releasing music, you're releasing your albums and stuff like that. Did you ever think like, man, this is going somewhere for me, like as a Christian artist, or did you feel like, you know, I don't know where's this going, like, God, what do you I just trust you and I'm gonna do what you tell me to do with these songs? Like, was that the deal for you, or was it like, I have a plan, God is with my plans, but I know where I want to go? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wanted to be this, you know, Lecrae sort of say, you know what I mean?
Got you.
I wanted to tour, I wanted to, but I just think back then I didn't have the marketing ability that I have now. I didn't know about marketing. I didn't know the importance of marketing. And I think if I would have knew that, if I would have knew how important marketing was back then, I would have gotten along further. Music has always been my passion. That's something that I've always loved doing. But I just didn't have the business. And again, who was doing it? You know what I'm saying? Like this is all new. You don't know what to do, bro. You just putting out music. You're just having fun. You're just enjoying when somebody call you and say, man, we want y'all to come to our church, or we want you to open up for this event, or you like, let's go. You know what I mean? So I started so early, you know, like before you really started to understand like structure of record labels and stuff like that. So I was just doing it and hoping for the best, just hoping that I would get booked. You know, touring and all of that stuff wasn't real. I wasn't really thinking about that as much because I was just excited to that I didn't have to put my gift down of rapping. You know what I mean? I've always rapped. And so when I got saved, to find out that I could do it for God, I had no expectations for real. I'm just like, man, I can keep rapping. And it can be positive. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you ever I remember recently G. Craig Lewis popped back up. Did you ever face that situation too? Like based on because I know a lot of OGs, and I call them young OGs in the 2000s, felt that and was like, man, you know what I mean? Like, I remember Petty D telling me a story about something like that where he had to fate, like his shows was affected by that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted like he was like 1 week. He said 1 month he went to he told me 1 month he was doing all these shows, and then the next month after that started happening, it just started messing him up. You know what I'm saying? So like the shows was eliminated and stuff. So I don't know if everybody had that same experience, especially in the 2000s once that message was coming out.
No, I didn't. Thank God. It didn't affect me at all.
Got you.
And I think he was definitely a bigger artist than I was too at the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was touring, like he was, these were guys that I looked up to.
Got you. Okay.
Kenton Jones, Cross Movement, Lecrae, like these are guys who were climbing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't get backed by no major label or anything like that. We was independent, been independent since.
Yeah.
So yeah. I didn't get that publicity, is what I'm saying.
Got you.
Even be affected. You know what I mean?
Got you. No, because I think sometimes, and the reason I'm asking that is because what you said earlier about churches saying like this is the devil, get this music out of here. I wonder if that was just a continuation of that with certain people, because I know certain people got really affected by that. Like really, it really affected their ministry and stuff. So I didn't know if that was one.
The good thing about us is I grew up in Cincinnati, right? Me and Rob, everybody knew us in Cincinnati. And then when we started doing Christian hip hop, it was too late. We had already been in.
Got you. Okay.
So it's like you can't let us in and see lives get changed and then say, "Oh, now it's the devil's music." It's like it's too late. We already made an impact in our city because we kind of spread it really fast in Cincinnati for doing Christian hip hop. You know what I mean? Like people was flooding the concerts when we were doing them, and so we had already made our mark as something like, no, this is really God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So what do you say to people that you still hear those like the newer generation is getting that in their comments where they put out like the Childlike CC's, the Miles Minnick, all the new era Christian rappers, they'll post like a Christian song or whatever from their album, and then they'll get this ain't from God, this Christian rapping from God. What do you say to those people based off what you just told me? What do you say to people like that still believe that God can't use rap music?
I think it's jealousy, man, at the end of the day.
Got you.
I think it's jealousy, and I think they're making an assumption.
Yeah.
And what I hate, man, is that sometimes when how people put their conviction on you, or put their fears on you, or say because they don't like something, you shouldn't like something, or because I'm not working for them, it can't work for everybody. And it's like, how do you come to that conclusion? How haughty are you to believe that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For real, that's really prideful.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, just because something don't work for you, don't mean it won't work for nobody else. So I think they're just trolls, man. At the end of the day, why would you even comment? I mean, what is your comment really going to do? Like at the end, at the grand scheme of things, if I put up Miles Minnick, his music ain't, and I post that on his page, what is it really going to do? Because I don't have a relationship with him. I don't know him. Me saying that, I might get 4 or 5 other people to agree with me, but how is it really going to affect him? How is it going to positively affect me from making a negative comment? How do I grow? How do I win?
Yeah.
And so I don't really understand people like that. I don't try to understand them because I don't feel like they're using proper judgment. It's a guy, man. I see some artists go around making songs about other artists, and it's like saying that their ministry isn't valid. They're judging the delivery of the message. Who they collaborate with, and it's always a couple ways to see something. You know what I mean? just because it's foreign to you, just because you don't understand how a Christian artist could collaborate with a secular artist, just because in your imperfect mind you can't fathom how God could use somebody that way, doesn't mean it's not of God either. It doesn't mean that. The Bible says, my thoughts are not your thoughts, my ways are not your ways. You don't have God all the way figured out. You can't bet your life and say, I know for a fact, I bet my life kill me now. God would not do that. You can't do that with God, because then that means you have God all the way figured out. And you can sit here and tell me you got God all the way figured out. Then I'm gonna serve you. I'm a real deal leave him, because if you got the ability to figure God out that way, I need to be serving you. Because you got some stuff together. You at a level where no man can go.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like God told people to do some unbelievably crazy things in the Bible, bro.
Yeah.
Noah built an ark. Build a what? God ain't gonna use nobody to build something that they never heard of before.
Yeah. Yeah.
That doesn't make sense, bro. For you to tell me to do something that nobody's ever heard of before, that doesn't make sense to me logically.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To build what? That for what? For rain?
What's rain? Yeah. What's rain?
What is rain, bro? What is that? So build something. So build something I've never built before is going to save me from something that's coming that we've never seen before. That don't sound crazy? That don't sound like God is doing something new, right? So we gotta quit playing with God, bro. We gotta quit putting him in his box and saying what he can't do. He freaking raised somebody from the dead.
Yeah. Do you think the reason why people would say the whole secular collab thing is because they fear that if I'm a Christian, okay, let's just use you as an example. I'm a fan of D-MAUB, and D-MAUB decides to do a Ludacris album called Separated at Birth or something, right? Okay. I know D-MAUB. I know D-MAUB love the Lord, right? Sure. I don't know. I never heard, and some people are sheltered like this. I never heard Ludacris before a day in my life. So I'm hearing him and D-MAUB go back and forth. I'm like, yo, he dumb nice. Let me go check him out. Like I said, like you said earlier, I don't know none of these people. I've never heard him before. So I go check him out, and I like him, but he's profanity. He's talking about this. He's talking about that. Do you feel like that's maybe the reason why people may have those precautions about Christian music, Christian artists, not just rappers, but Christian artists in general, doing collab with mainstream secular artists? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I can definitely see that angle, right?
Yeah.
But for that to really make an impact, I would assume the only danger would be if you never heard any secular music in your life, and I'm introducing you to worldly music to begin with.
Yeah.
If you ever heard anybody else who's secular and you stay away from that, you will keep that pattern if you're real with yourself. So soon as you hear me on the track with Ludacris, but he's rapping about positivity on my track, right? You still don't know he rap negative. If you got this habit of dodging negativity, when you go check out who Ludacris really is and he's negative, guess what your pattern gonna have you do?
Not listen to him. But then they're gonna say, D-MAUB, why you working with him if he's negative? You know what I mean? I think that's the question they were asking.
Because any step towards doing something positive is a step doing something positive. Because what if Ludacris get on a song with me, rap about God or rap about something positive, right?
Yeah.
He goes home a year later, something happens. He listened to that song again and like, you know what, man? I need to do better. I need to do better. I need to do better with my relationship with God, bro. I'm glad that D-MAUB kind of not force me, but challenge me to rap about God in this song, to rap about how thankful I am. And what if the opportunity I gave him to worship God with me as two imperfect people, mind you,
Mm-hmm.
'cause I'm imperfect too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What if he hears him rapping about God or rapping something positive, and it pushes him to grow closer to God because of the invitation that I gave him to rap about God or to rap about
Yeah.
something positive.
Yeah.
And what if people are calling him and saying, bruh, man, you killed that joint with D-MAUB, bruh. Like that encouraged me. Now he's starting to hear how his positive rap on
Yeah.
D-MAUB song is encouraging other people in a
Yeah.
different way.
Yeah.
And over time, not immediate, because everybody wants this immediate stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let me see
Yeah.
fruit. Let me see fruit now, today. It's like,
That ain't happening with you.
man, it's like y'all don't be realistic, bro. And I think that's what I don't like about the judgmental people. It's like they're not realistic about their journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, didn't
Yeah.
God give you time? Did he
Yeah.
not give you an opportunity? Do you not still mess up today, even though you love God? You still
Yeah.
mess up.
Yeah.
So what are we talking
Yeah.
about? Like,
Yeah.
people need to chill. You know what I'm saying? That stuff
Yeah.
get me upset, man, because it's like you're
I
not
can tell. I'm sorry.
God, don't be sorry, bro. They this need to be said. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
imperfect people don't give other imperfect people the grace to be imperfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they got it all figured out. Like, you don't do no wrong. You don't never drop the ball.
Yeah.
And how are you supposed to? The Bible says, "By love have I drawn thee." Right.
Mm.
So even though you perfect now, you got it. You got it figured all out. Right. You'll never
Yeah.
make no mistakes behind closed doors or in public. You
Yeah.
good. If somebody is imperfect, how are you supposed to handle that person, a believer or a
Mm.
non-believer?
Yeah.
How does
Yeah.
God say handle that person?
Yeah.
Right? If you got beef with them, go to them first, behind
Yeah.
closed doors. Let's do the Bible.
Yeah.
The Bible don't say if you can't get in touch with them, go public. It don't say that. Don't make him say that.
Yeah.
Don't make God say something he ain't say. He ain't say that
Yeah.
was a step you can do if they ain't
Yeah.
if they don't contact you back. Shut your
Yeah.
mouth until you can
Yeah.
get in contact with them.
Yeah.
You making up stuff, don't you know what I mean?
But
Like, don't add
yeah.
to the word, bro. He ain't say
Yeah.
if you get in contact with them, then you can go public.
But I think
And
the problem is some of these people don't know each other. So it's like if I know of you, then I can. If I have if somebody said, "Hey, D-MAUB, DJ Jeremiah, want to talk to you." If you know me, you could be like, "Sure, what's the problem? Let's settle this situation." If I'm just a troll in the comments, some guy
yep.
just I don't know from Adam or nothing, you may not be like, "I don't know him. I don't. Do we have somebody that's a mediator? That's scripture."
And
Bring
here's the
somebody
thing.
that's a mediator, yeah, that we can have that conversation with.
But bro, you said the perfect thing. You don't know me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't know me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
issue. You don't know me. You don't know my heart.
Yeah.
You don't know what God is calling me to do. You're
Yeah.
closed-minded to the possibility that God
Yeah.
could use me in this way. You
Yeah.
still closed-minded. You still lost. You still lost the argument, bro.
Yeah.
Because you don't know me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the
Yeah.
issue. I can't stamp somebody as that's like, bro, listen, I had this incident. I wrote a song about this incident I had at me and my son. I wrote a whole song. It's called Ricochet. It's coming up on another project.
So
And me and my son went to dang, I can't think of the name of the fast food. Penn Station.
okay.
We went to Penn Station one day, right? And we walked in, and the guy who was behind the counter already looked like he had an attitude.
Gotcha.
Right? He already looked mad.
Yeah.
So me and my son walk in, and I was getting him something, and I looked at the time. I'm like, oh, my fam about to be getting off. Let me make sure they're not hungry. I'm gonna grab them something too while we here.
Gotcha.
So we get up to the counter, and the dude like no greeting, no nothing, right? He's mad about something. Okay.
Yeah.
So I said, it was pretty empty in there. It was only one other person standing, waiting for their order.
Yeah.
And so I said, Micah, to my youngest son, I said, go ahead, start ordering. I'm gonna make a call. By the time you get done telling him what you want and I tell him what I want, I'll get some answers back from the rest of the family.
Gotcha.
So my youngest son ordered, I ordered, and I had my son Devin with me. I was waiting on my youngest son Micah to text me back what he wanted, but the connection, I found out later, the connection was bad. So he was trying to text me, but it wasn't going through. So my wife told me what she wanted. My daughter told me what she wanted. We're waiting on Micah.
Yeah.
So as we're waiting on Micah, the guy kind of gets frustrated because I'm taking a little minute to place his order, the last order. Yeah. So the guy walks off. He just walks off, right?
Yeah.
And I get my son's order. He comes back and he finally takes my youngest son's order. So he gets the order. Bro, when I tell you this dude act like he hated us.
Jeez.
And after he took our order, before he turned around, I asked him, I said, hey man, I said, do y'all accept tips here?
Yeah.
And he kind of backed up and looked at me. And before he said yes or no, I put $5 in his hand. And he kind of walked off like he was like, yo, right? I went back to the seat and I had a talk with my son. I said, listen, I don't know what he's dealing with, right? But he treated us very, very rude, like unbelievably rude.
Yeah.
And I said, but what I can't do, son, I said, what we can't do is because we caught him in his imperfect moment is stamping on this evil person as that's who he is.
Wow.
I said he might have just lost a loved one, right? He might have asked for a day off for him to do something really important that day, and that day they told him no or quit, right?
Yeah.
He might have had an attitude for so many reasons. I said, I know I personally didn't do, I'm wise enough to know that I didn't do anything to him personally. So I'm just getting the brunt end of something.
Yeah.
I can't be emotional.
Yeah.
And get in my feelings, right?
Yeah.
And judge him based off this one encounter.
And
so I tipped him, bro. Even though I got treated like crap, I tipped him. And I told him, man, I pray you have an awesome day, bro. God bless you.
Yeah.
As I gave him the money. And so, but this is what these believers do to other believers is they'll see them do one thing, bro, and void everything else they've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like none of the other stuff matter.
Yeah.
None of the other concerts matter that people was giving their life to God. You gonna judge me off doing a collab with somebody, and the person who did the collab with me was on my level. When they came in my house, they took off their shoes.
Yeah.
They succumbed to my rules of being positive, and you still gonna judge me because of that?
Wow. Yeah.
It's like you stamping me as this horrible person.
Yeah.
And again, you don't even know me. I didn't know the guy.
Yeah.
He could have been going through anything.
Yeah.
So I had to have grace to allow him to be imperfect, bro.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't have for each other. We don't have grace.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, that's real, bro. That's real. And I know for me, sometimes I have to be like, God, let me step back and give people grace, because I could be a person where you put your mouth on a situation before you don't really know it. And then also what I really learned was, like, especially I'm in the book of Isaiah, and there's a chapter, if I remember, when he used an unperfect king to get his situation, just to get the Israelites in Jerusalem back to him. He used somebody that the world would be like, God didn't use that dude to do that, but in the long scheme of things, he did. You know what I mean? And I think sometimes we don't know what those collaborations can do. You know what I'm saying? I said this to somebody recently. I was like, we don't know how CeCe Winans and Whitney Houston relationship was, like, to a point where, you know, CeCe, I remember going towards the end of Whitney Houston's life, CeCe Winans was like very there for her and speaking to her, helping her through stuff. So
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day is sometimes we are quick to speak because we don't want people to be like tainted or, hey man, my you know what I mean? Because some people do, and let's be real, some people do shelter their kids. Some people do shelter their kids from music and movies, and you know, I've known somebody who's been watching just certain G-rated movies or Christian movies. They're listening to Christian music only, and they may never heard of certain people. But at the same time, though, you can't judge somebody based off of them working with somebody. You know what I'm saying? So,
bro, you cannot do that, bro. It's so unfair. You know what I mean? It's so unfair to see somebody in a certain state and stamp them as that's who they are. And again, you don't know them. You don't even because if you knew them and you knew their track record, you knew their heart, you knew what they've always been on, you wouldn't say that. If you knew them, you're only saying that because you don't know them, because you took a scripture and took it out of context. Those are the same people probably do that. They take one scripture and be like, but who was he talking to though? Let's go before, let's read after that joint. Just take this, and he might have told these people to walk around the mountain, the wall 7 times and it'll fall. That don't mean it's for you to walk around your car 7 times and it's gonna be paid off. That was for them at that time. Don't apply that to the whole world today. It don't mean it's gonna work. Right. But that's what a lot of people do, man. Out of ignorance, they feel like the formula that God gives them should be the formula for every. Bro, I used to go into this club called Mad Frog, and I used to do Christian hip hop, and I used to be in there till 12, 1 in the morning, right? And this is a club, they smoking, drinking. Now I didn't do that, right? I got on stage, it was open mic. So you mean to tell me I shouldn't go to an open mic and rap about God in a room full of worldly artists who every other song is rapping about killing, murder, having sex with girls. So I shouldn't go in there and do a song that's representing Jesus because of what it will look like me coming out of there at a certain hour. So you tripping off me going to a club when Jesus came to the whole world. What's worse? Out of the two, what's worse? Is me going into a building on earth worse than Jesus coming to the whole, leaving heaven, and coming to the whole world? I'm just doing what he did. I'm just going into places to do this, literally the same thing he did in a different way. You tripping off me coming out of the building, bro. He came to the whole world.
You want to be like, I want to go in there, spread the love of God, spread the word of God, so that somebody in here can either be like, man, yo, let me talk to him, or man, that was powerful, and then really start questioning stuff. You know what I mean? We don't. I think what it is, honestly, D-MAUB, is that we want the quick results, like you said earlier. We don't want the long arm. You don't want somebody to say, D-MAUB dropped the seed, K-Drama dropped the seed, Track Stars dropped the seed, and then boom, they got saved. They want boom right there. You know what I'm saying?
They want you to be saved before they even come to you, for real. They want you to have it right upon first listen. And it's like, man, y'all putting these whack expectations on people that barely worked for y'all. You know what I mean? And I think the sad part is we keep forgetting that even being a believer who loves God, who gives, who forgives, who's getting it right, who's doing everything in their power every day to do what's right, are still flawed and need God every single day. Tomorrow I'm gonna need God just as much as I needed him today.
Got you.
I'm as flawed in God's eyes today just like yesterday. He like, bro, you ain't no better today. You still need me today too. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, we don't allow people to be imperfect, man. We don't allow it. We like, nope, you got to cut out everything today. If I see you, if you cuss, it's like, whoa, my God, what are you doing cussing? It's like, can you give me a chance, bro? I've been cussing for 15 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I might slip up. You know, I ain't talking about me, but I'm just saying, it's like, sometimes I might say something out of anger, or it's no worse than you having a lustful thought that nobody sees.
Yeah.
Or nobody will ever know about.
Yeah. That's right.
Right? Like, we're in the same boat.
That's right. Yeah.
And it's heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking because we're literally write people off who God keeps.
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
It's like, man, God write me off for that. And you are?
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy, up, bro. Yeah, it is. It is. Well, let's turn the page, man. I don't want to get you too worked up.
Let's go. Let's go. I can be on that. You feel me? I can be on that.
give the example of going from music to the clothing line with Good, man. I want you to talk about Good Apparel, and talk about that, how you came up with it and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I started Good Company Apparel in 2014. So I was called to pastor in 2014 as well. I started pastor in 2015 to 2020 to COVID. COVID is what shut my ministry down. We had a ministry called Love and Grace Outreach. Love and Grace Outreach. Love and freaking Grace Outreach. And God specifically gave me that name for our ministry. And he said, because it's not enough of that being shown. Love.
Oh, wow.
And so we started it. And I'm not saying people don't do that. Of course not.
Yeah.
It's just, he told me this is what you need to be on, because my ministry, I was in the hood ministering to young kids, stuff like that, right? And that's what they wasn't experiencing, whether from believers or their parents, love and grace. So I started that, and at the same time I started that, we launched Good Company Apparel. Now, I never wanted to sell clothes a day in my life. Not one day in my life. I never thought when I get older, when I get done rapping, I'm gonna start this clothing line. Never wanted to have clothes. So I know this is from God.
Yeah.
But he put it on my heart to start this brand, and he later showed me that the brand is accomplishing a few things. It's a brand that everybody could relate to, because everybody wants good company around them. Good, bad. You want what your idea of good people is to be around you. You want good company.
Wow. So
I wanted something that everybody could relate to. Young, old, black, white, rich, poor. The second thing is, I didn't just want another clothing line, bro. I mean, there's no shortage of clothing, right? That you can buy. So it had to go beyond just positivity, and it had to solve a problem. The problem is, we see billboards, we see signs that reiterate important messages, right? You tell your child, listen, when here's the keys to the car, put your seatbelt on.
Yeah.
All right. Don't drink and drive. They'll be driving, they'll see a billboard that say, hey, buckle up. It's the law. It's reiterated.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't drink and drive. Right?
Yeah.
Tell me, have you ever seen a billboard that said, watch the company you keep?
No.
Be mindful of the people you surround yourself with. To this day, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
And so God said, listen, this product is solving a problem, because everybody who wears good company is the billboard reiterating to our communities that we need to keep good company around us.
That's good, man. That's good.
Right? Yeah. The third thing is, I kind of got tired of being forced to wear other people's names on me when it comes to fashion. Not that it's wrong. I got a closet full of Jordans, right? I wear Jordan. I still wear somebody's name on me when it comes to the fashion industry. But I wanted an option. I didn't want you to be forced to always wear somebody's name, somebody's idea that they came up with that they thought is cool. Now you got to buy into that idea of it being cool, and then you wear it. I wanted you to wear it yourself, right? Because I'm like, man, I'm important too. Why I always got to wear somebody else's name on me when it comes to the fashion industry to feel like I got on something that's dope? Why can't I wear myself? And so you feel like you're good company, right? You feel
Yeah.
like, you know, you've been good company to somebody, to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you're good company and you wear something called good company, you're literally wearing yourself. That's one of our taglines: wear yourself for a change.
Mm.
Right. And so because I know God put this brand on my heart, that's where you see the second O in parentheses, meaning it's applicable or not applicable.
Mm.
And through my fashion, God wanted me to take the same approach that he gave us, which is an option to serve.
Mm. Wow. That's
So,
amazing, bro.
so
That's
keeping good
amazing.
company, and take that O out, keep God company.
Mm.
So we're
Wow.
kind of killing a lot of birds with one brand, right? I didn't want
Got you.
something that pressed my faith on you. You know what I'm saying? That now you gotta serve my God. Nope, because God didn't do that to us.
Yeah.
He gave us a choice, right?
Yeah.
And so I wanted to give you a choice as well through the fashion,
Yeah.
for you to rep God or not. If Because I've had non-believers, bro. I got all walks of life wearing good company because
Wow.
of the delivery, and because of the of course the aesthetics, right? People like how it looks, the design. But I've had people come into my store and who was like, I really don't get with the God thing, but I do want good company around me. Let me get this shirt. And
Wow.
it's like,
Wow.
and and here's the thing, is that God is good. He is that. So
Yeah.
this is why the word good can never be misconstrued, or the meaning of it can be changed like a lot of other things can be changed,
Got you. Got you. Got
because
you.
God is that. He can't
Yeah.
change either, right, from who he is. So this is
Yeah.
what I mean. I can say, I can say, man, oh girl, bad boy, right?
Yeah.
We we know by my tone and my delivery, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Or I can say, oh no, she bad. She bad. Don't. I use the same word,
Yeah.
but it means two different things.
Yeah.
The word good will never mean nothing but good. It
Yeah.
always adds value. So this is how I know this thing is from God, because I'm creative, but not this creative, bro.
You had some good people co-signing it. Like I've seen like Erica Campbell wear it. I've seen some other people wear it too. That I
For
was
sure.
like, wow. And that's like in
Yeah,
its early stages.
yeah. You're right. You're right, for sure, man. A lot of people appreciate the message of the brand, and they know that it's a community brand, right? It's a
Got you.
message driven brand, that
Yeah.
everybody wears this. Because, man, I'm a life coach as well. I go into schools, I teach on entrepreneurship, I teach master classes on entrepreneurship. I talk to the kids about, just their future, man. I love on them, tell them, that they're great, that God called you to be great. Nobody created you to be thrown away. Nobody
Yeah.
creates anything to be thrown away, right? So, don't let nobody throw you away, man. Watch the company you keep. And so when I'm saying these things, when I'm saying watch who you surround yourself with, it's so dope, because I have a physical thing that they can see after I say this, to remind them to keep good company. So even if
Mm.
I go into the schools and I talk to these kids about watching the company they keep, a lot of times it's one ear, not the other, because they've heard it 1,000 times, but then it's out of sight, out of mind too. It's no physical reminder. There's no billboard, there's no
Mm.
TV show, there's nothing
Yeah.
hitting that message to remind you when you see it. Oh yeah. You'll see you know, you'll see a reminder for food, McDonald's next exit. You're like, oh yeah, let me get off right here. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Right? You see reminders for a lot of stuff. You won't see a reminder to watch the company you keep, unless
Yeah.
unless it's our brand, right?
Got you.
So it's like, man, when we come together and we wear this thing together, when I go into the schools and I talk to these kids, if you ever pop up on their timeline, right? And they come across your page, their For You page or whatever, however
Yeah.
they may see you, even online, they don't know you from a can of paint, and you got on a good company shirt, or you got on a good company hat, but you don't know back in the city. I just recently talked to them about keeping good company, and they see this logo again on somebody else. Guess what they're reminded to do? Just through your logo. Keep good
Keep
company.
good company. Wow. Bro,
So
I got
what
an idea for you. I got an
for sure?
idea. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Switch, you
No,
were
you
gonna
good.
say? I got an idea for you. It's this cat that do like his his name is Darman, and he does like positive, like it's on YouTube, kind of like you can know what I'm saying, after school specials. He kind of do
Okay.
those type of things. He bring those back. And in my mind, I was like, yo, what if you created something like that where you create, I don't know if you into film or TV or whatever, if you had an opportunity to create a like a show or something on like a YouTube where you just good company and come up with ideas, come up with like sketches or not sketches, come up with like skits and like vignettes of that, so that people, and you got the clothes in it that
Yeah.
people remind like to keep good company, but come up with like using songs and turn those into like skits and stuff to keep good company, and that will bring people to go what you just said, because that's like you said, you see the billboard,
Yeah.
you see the clothing, but also seeing the visual for the good company.
Nah, for sure. Nah, that's super dope, man. That's a super dope idea. I've been working on this book for a few years now. I
Yeah,
need to really wrap it up. It's about brand. It's really about branding and marketing. It's called
got you.
Beyond Your Circle. So I'm working on that, man. But I wanted to do some series, some book
Yeah,
series, right?
yeah,
Uh, about keeping good company, and it could be
yeah,
stories about, little Mike, what I'm saying, grew up in the hood, blah, 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 and just kind
yeah,
of,
yeah,
these 20-page, quick little stories about the pros and cons of the people you surround yourself with.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I mean? These
yeah,
series of people getting into trouble or, losing their life, bro, or, you know, uh, uh, made it out, because they kept good company. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? They watch who they surround themselves with. So the pros and cons of keeping good company. I've actually thought about that stuff, bro, because I think it's important, man. It's a message that's not reiterated, bro. We talk
yeah,
about it till we blue in the face, but
yeah.
these kids hear it, right? But then here's what's sad too, is they don't actually know what good company looks like.
Mm,
They think we can say
mm,
keep good company, but don't misconstrue good company for you going in a store, you stealing, and your homie watching out for you so you don't get caught. That's not good
yeah,
company.
yeah,
You
yeah,
think it is. You think that's your home.
yeah,
You think like he looking out for me though. Like that's my homie. That's my good company. That's good for me, but
yeah,
it's not good for you. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's not.
Then we got to break down what good company actually is. And what
Yeah.
I tell these kids, bro, is I ask them. I say, listen, um, an enemy and a friend has to be two different things, and they'll agree. Like, yeah,
Mm,
sure.
yeah.
I said, okay, so let's if you will agree with me, if you believe this, agree with me, right? That an enemy, let's just say at the end of the day, wants to see you dead or in jail. That's your enemy.
Mm,
They don't
yeah.
care. They'll say,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, they're the ops. They don't want to see me live, right? I said, good. So that's it. That's the category of an enemy. The outcome is dead or in jail. I said, so if your friend, right, puts you in a position where the
Mm,
outcome is the same as what an enemy's outcome for you would be, how is it a friend?
mm,
So then they start like, hmm, how is that different? You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
A
Yeah.
friend shouldn't put me in a position where the outcome of my life will be dead or in jail. And that's the same thing as the outcome of what an enemy wants for me. So then they start thinking about, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the characteristics of the two. And I
Yeah.
tell them that can't be a friend, because a friend has to should be doing the opposite and preventing you if they love you and care about you,
Got
right?
you.
How can somebody love and care about you but put you in a position where your life will end up in the same way as what an enemy wants? Somebody who don't love and
Mm,
care about you.
yeah.
Why are you okay hanging around this person? You should just
Yeah.
hang with the ops.
Yeah.
The end result is the same.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? This end
Yeah.
result might be delayed.
Yeah.
This end result is masked by relationship,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
the end result is the end result. It's something. The end result is what you don't want,
Yeah.
and so they begin to think about that, man. But my brand is a reminder of, at least it's a start.
Yeah.
Keep good company. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
dope, bro. That's dope, man. Hey, man. Real quick, I'm gonna let you go. Talk about, I know we talked about so much other stuff. We talked about a few things about the music, but talk
yeah,
about coming back with Revamp that dropped this year, and getting mad love. I saw Lecrae
yeah,
give you love. Everybody, like, talk about that and the feeling of coming back with new music.
man. It is. So at this point, man, I'm not doing music to. Um, my goal is not to blow up or to tour or anything like that. If opportunity comes, I'll consider it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not my heart right now, man. I've been doing music my whole life, and so
Gotcha.
being able to do it again and to have fun, this is this is how I give myself happiness. This is what makes me happy, right?
Mm,
I learned that nobody is in charge of my happiness but me. So I have to
mm,
do things to secure my happiness. I can't put that pressure on my wife. It's not up to my wife to make me happy. She's not even happy 100% of the time herself. Nobody is. So I
yeah,
can't put that pressure on somebody who's not even always happy themselves. Now you got to make me happy, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
when I learned my happiness is up to me and I have to do things to make me happy, that's when I really like, okay, I'm about to do music again because it brings me this happiness, man. It's something that comforts me. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
my outlet. It allows me to vent, so I'm doing it for those reasons. And whoever can relate to what I'm doing musically is for them. I know
Gotcha.
I won't be accepted, or I knew that going in when I first started, doing music, is I'm not for everybody. Nobody's for everybody, right? And so I'm
Gotcha.
okay
Yeah.
when people say, nah, D-MAUB ain't for me. That's cool, right? Hopefully another one of our brothers and sisters in the Lord is for you. You know what I'm saying? You listening
Yeah.
to many members of one body. So we winning at the same, we still
Yeah.
win,
Yeah.
right? But I'm doing it for that reason, man. And so to do it for that reason, and to see the love that I've been getting from this album, I'm thankful, bro. I mean, people are raving about this album still. 10 out of
Yeah.
10. The mix, the
Yeah.
song selection, the order of the songs. All of that stuff was intentional. The order that I put the songs in, I've been intentional about that since I started doing albums. You know what I mean? How
Yeah.
the album flows and stuff like that. And so for
Yeah.
people to realize that and to even mention those subtle things that's important to me, it's dope, man. I'm thankful that people are enjoying the album.
Got you. Bro, thank you so much, man. It's time for this or that. You ready, bro?
Let's get it.
You ready? All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, man. This or that, D-MAUB edition.
Yeah,
Skyline chili or Gold Star chili?
I'm gonna go with Skyline.
Skyline.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Over
I'm
the over the Rhine or Mount Adams?
gonna go with Over the Rhine. Over the Rhine got more attractions and stuff right now.
Got you.
It wasn't that way. It wasn't that way 10 years ago, bro. I would have picked anywhere else you would have said over OTR back in the day.
Got you. Okay. Ollie's Trolley or Soul Secrets?
Soul Secrets.
Soul Secrets. Okay. Pond's potato chips or Grippo's potato chips?
Grippos. Before you even said it, as soon as you said chips, bro, we going with Grippos. You kidding me? Don't ever do that. Don't ever come at me crazy.
All right, so you got to pick between these two people to be the starting wide receiver for the Bengals. Chad Johnson or AJ Green?
Give me Chad.
Chad, okay.
Chad.
Keep my name out your mouth or So Professional?
I'll probably
If
go
you
with
can't pick, if you can't pick, you gotta say both. Just spread the love of God. Okay.
I can pick one. If I had to pick one, keep my name out your mouth. I think keep my name out your mouth is more relatable.
Got you.
And it's not talking about what it's not So Professional is like, we're all striving to be so professional, but keep my name out your mouth is an accountability song of what we shouldn't be doing to each other.
Got you.
We shouldn't be talking bad about other people.
Got you.
So
okay.
Yeah, we'll go with
Got
that.
you. Got you. All right. You got a collab album that you want to do. You only could pick one person in between these two people.
Okay.
Drama or Kjo? And like I said before, if you can't pick, if you say both, then just spread the love of God with somebody this week.
That's really. I'm gonna do that anyway, right? But that's so hard because K-Drama is my brother, but Kenton Jones will give a diversity for me because he can sing.
Yeah.
So I would probably go with Kjo first because of that, his singing ability, and on the hooks he can sing, like he can bring a whole different. It just won't be rap all the way through. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. With me and K-Drama, we can have singers on our album. So I would say both, bro. That's hard.
Gotcha.
That's
okay.
That's
okay.
too hard.
Okay. Inside Out or The Missing Piece?
Hold on, give me 1 second. Just give me one. Just give me 1 freaking second. Inside Out
or The Missing Piece?
Hold on. Let me hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Just give me a minute, because that's crazy. Inside Out. Okay, let's keep my name out your mouth. Death Before Dishonor. So Professional, Fresh, Dad, People Crazy. I'm probably gonna go Inside Out before I even look at it. Yeah, Missing. Yeah. Inside Out all day. Yeah. Shoot, I had to go back and look at the song selection. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Inside Out yes. Inside Out got songs, bro.
Got you. All right. Yeah. Consulting artist or consulting a business?
Me being the consultant?
Yeah, you're the consultant. You got either consultant artist, doing artist consulting, or helping another business with consulting. Which one would you pick? Business. Okay.
And I think if I do business, that maybe an artist can tie into that.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Because they have to have their business together as an artist as well.
Yeah. But no, it's just two different things. It's like an artist, like you have the opportunity to work with an artist, or you work with a business with your consulting. That's what I'm saying. That's what
I would probably still do a business at this point.
Got you. Okay. All right, my final one, man. My final one. Okay. Are you a Christian rapper or a rapper who's Christian?
I'm both.
Got you. Okay.
I'm both. Why can't we be both? You know what I mean?
You can. Some people decided to be Christian rapper. Some people say I'm a rapper who's Christian.
I think you're both.
Yeah.
Really, think about that. A rapper who is a Christian. I'm that. I rap and I'm a Christian. And because of my content, I'm a Christian rapper.
Yeah. I never heard nobody put it that way. I've never heard nobody put it that way.
I'm literally both. Literally.
Got you. Yeah.
Hey, man, listen. Play with me, bro. You feel me? I'm both. You can't. I mean, you're only the title because of what you do.
Yeah.
You're only a pastor because you pastor.
Yeah.
Right. So a Christian artist only gets the title because of the work he does.
Yeah, yeah, that's real.
You can't claim to be a doctor and you ain't do no surgeries.
Yeah.
You know, so you won't have that. You can't say you're married and you haven't sealed the deal with the wife and the vows, and you
Yeah,
can't claim the title if you haven't done the work. So
yeah,
the work you do gives you the title. You're an activist in the community. You got the title because people have been seeing you be active in the community. So you've already
yeah,
been doing the work of an
yeah,
activist.
yeah.
And then they reward you. Then they start labeling you from what they see you do.
Yeah, yeah,
So you're both.
yeah.
You're always going
Okay.
to be.
Bro, thank you so much, man.
Sure.
Promote. Social media, what you got going on? Promote it right now. Come on, D-MAUB. Let's go, man. Promote it.
For sure, man. So follow me on social media. Instagram is official.dmaub, official.dmaub. That's my artist page. On TikTok, I'm D-MAUB the Creature. And follow the clothing, man. We pushing this message, man. We coming together as a community to push to be a physical reminder to keep good company and to keep God company. The Instagram is Good Company Apparel. Everything's spelled all the way out, and you will see it's like a green and white logo. It says official page. It's some other pages on there that was hacked, so don't follow those. But Good Company Apparel. My new album dropped April 14th, Revamped. Go check that joint out. I think it's my best work to date. I think it's better than all the albums I've ever done.
Wow.
The closest one is the Inside Out joint, but I think it surpassed Inside Out. You feel me? So go check out my album, man. Let me know what you guys think. And hit the website, man. Goodcoapparel.com. Grab you some drip. Grab you some good drip. We got the autism representing. We got so much stuff on our website, man. So. Man, thank you so much, man, for this interview. Again, I'm super thankful, man, because again, this is something you guys don't have to do. You know, you don't owe me this. And so I'm very grateful, man, for the opportunity to be able to be interviewed by you guys and to have an opportunity to share my heart, man, on the things I'm doing.
Yeah. Man, this was so good, man. This was a good one, bro. Thank you so much. Kingdom citizens, remember Kingdom Ox everywhere. And man, go support everything D-MAUB got. Music, clothes, whatever else, books, whatever he's coming with, support him. He has a good heart. He loves Jesus and he loves you too. All right. Man, thank you, bro.
Absolutely.
And we are out.